This is going to make some business owners uncomfortable, but I believe that learning to use AI well is going to be the skill that separates founders who break past their income ceiling from those who stay small. This is a 3-part series for founders who want to use AI to repurpose their content so that it attracts high-paying clients. So make sure you stay to the end for examples of strategically repurposed content that you can use for your own business. Hi, my name is Isabel, and I am a content strategist who works with established founders to repurpose their content in a way that doesn't sound robotic. So about 2 weeks ago, I broke down Petbarn's Instagram strategy where they deleted every single post on their Instagram page, and then they reviewed their 2 new mascots. I enjoyed watching this campaign unfold because everything in it felt so cohesive and on brand. It left enough of a cliffhanger that people were invested in it. So that breakdown, which I shared on Instagram, rocketed into hyperspace. But with that also came comments where people were saying it's literally an AI ad. But why are we so uppity about people using AI as a tool? I personally think that the Petbarn campaign was pure genius because you could see there was some thinking involved behind it. It was still on brand. It wasn't like off brand, like those generic AI posters that you're seeing everywhere popping out on social media right now. They all look the same and you don't know that whether they're from the same business or different businesses. Because AI isn't the thing that made this campaign feel well thought out. It was a human that did the strategic thinking, and they made the final decision to have a cat and a dog review themselves as the mischief makers behind the whole Instagram deletion, and that won their audience over. And so my theory on this, most AI generated images or videos or any form of marketing gives people the ick because there wasn't an actual living human to discern whether it feels right. So it feels off to us. And that's why we hate it. And I ask on my social media, would you mind if AI was being used in marketing tasks, if it was done well, if it was used not to replace your brain, but rather help to maybe structure someone's thoughts or use as a tool to help refine certain things in a video, like for example, automatic captions is an AI feature as well. And the replies were quite refreshing. There were people who said they weren't fans of it, but when I asked them further, they did say it was because they preferred doing their own writing themselves. Another person said that they didn't mind if someone used it to save time, but if they were paying someone to do something for them, they would love to know and appreciate and respect that the human did their magic, which I thought was a quite lovely take on it because it shows that people still do buy from people. And then it made me think further about, is there a right way to use AI or is there a wrong way? So what do I mean by using AI well? By now you might have seen all those AI generated flyers and posters that is rampant on social media right now. That is an example of bad AI. I don't like that. What I mean by using AI well is using it in your workflows to speed up the process of something that you're already knowledgeable in. As a content strategist, you may have noticed I only talk about using AI for content-related tasks. And the reason for that is that there are so many people out there right now who are talking about using AI to do so many different things. And while I could totally figure out how to do those things, I feel like if I step into that territory, it is doing you a disservice because that's outside of my field of expertise. My knowledge lies in content marketing, strategy, and understanding of how to interpret data, which came from my science background. And that's why you'll never see me talking about using AI for any other use cases other than content and repurposing. So I like to compare using AI well to when Canva first launched. And this was a while back. There were so many people saying that Canva is going to put graphic designers out of a job and people, they shouldn't use it. They should pay a graphic designer to actually design graphics that look professional. The thing was that Canva made design accessible to everyone, but not everyone could make good looking graphics. There's still stuff out there which is very poorly designed. There's not enough white space. Only the people who really understood design principles knew how to use Canva as a tool to create designs that attracted the right audience. And if you're a business owner that wants to learn how to use Canva better for design, one of my clients actually teaches that. So she talks more about the subtle things that will make a design look polished even if you use Canva to DIY your brand. And she's got a free masterclass where she covers the design tools that are going to take you to 100K. So I'll drop the link in the show notes below, but there'll also be a link up here if you're watching the video version of this episode. So enough about that. What I am a fan of is basically using AI as a tool for you to share your knowledge so that you can impact more people in your life and basically spread the love. That's what I'm going to call it. Spread the love. Because I know there are so many business owners out there, there's so many experts out there that you're helping all these people, your clients are seeing your work, your clients are raving about your results, but there's only so much capacity you have. And using AI to speed up your workflow or repurpose your content more efficiently is going to help you impact more people, basically, so that people stop falling into the trap of listening to fake experts and learning from people who actually know their craft. So the first example of using AI to assist in marketing tasks, which I'm going to talk about today, is for caption writing. The using it bad example is basically going into something like Claude, Gemini, the AI tool that you prefer, and then you go in and you chat to it and say, write me a caption for Facebook. It will spit something out, something that sounds so generic, anyone could have written it, and maybe you tweak 1 or 2 sentences or words, and that's it. It doesn't sound anything like you in real life. Because one thing I've noticed is when you don't train AI too well, it's going to try to squeeze as many words as possible into a single sentence. And sometimes it repeats paragraphs. The first paragraph is basically a repeat of paragraph 3. It's just phrased differently. It sounds really smart, but it's not actually telling people anything. And it's not really great at writing hooks too. And if you want to use AI to help write well, it needs 2 things. It needs your vocal identity, which I have talked about in a previous episode of this, and it needs content strategy baked into it. So one of my clients is a mental health GP. Her name is Dr. Naomi Rutten, and before she came to work with me, she had a monthly email that she would write and hand over to her social media manager at the time. The social media manager would then repurpose that monthly email into content for her social media platform, which was all fine and dandy, but the content that was being generated was educational without positioning Naomi as an expert in what she did. Because it was looking pretty but not strategic, it wasn't moving Naomi's audience to take action by enrolling in her online courses or even to sign up for events from social media. So when I came on board, what we did was to map Naomi's content to the thing that she was promoting at the time, whether it was an in-person event or the promotion of her online courses or even just growing her email list. During our onboarding session together, I collaborated with Naomi to define her vocal identity, which is the words she was using, if there's any specific phrases she wants to use, examples of written sentences that she had done herself that she liked, what she didn't like, use of emojis, certain words that she would never use. There's a lot that goes into this. I really recommend that you listen or watch the vocal identity video or listen to it in the podcast because there's lots I go into detail over there. And then we talked about her lived experiences. So basically collated her stories of why she had set up the business and what drove her to, like, her personal experiences, things that her clients could relate to that we can use in her content. Sometimes we forget that a lot of people buy based off emotions. And if you are just using AI to churn out content, it is sorely lacking those personal stories and those emotions. It's just spitting out facts. Once we had that locked in, her vocal identity, her personal stories, her content strategy, which platform she was on, I then built a content repurposing system. At the time, there wasn't ChatGPT or Claude yet, so I would do this manually. But now with AI, it's so much more efficient. So the content repurposing system was built to help her turn that one email into at least 12 to 15 social media posts each month. As soon as we incorporated more strategy into Naomi's content, she saw a direct growth in her email list. Over time, as we refined her repurposed content based on the data we were seeing, We also had one of her videos hit 10,000 views. But it didn't just get seen, it also attracted the right fit inquiries because she won a one radio interview as well as paid speaking gigs from that. And this is where AI was being used strategically with the content strategy with Naomi's vocal identity baked in to help her repurpose her content one email into at least 12 to 15 pieces. Because it had those two elements baked in, it still sounded like her, but it was giving her the results that she wanted, which was to grow her email list, eventually attract clients into her online courses, and raise funds for the mental health hub that she was building in her local community. So example 2 of using AI well in a marketing task and using it badly, I want to talk about video repurposing. Now, I've already covered this in detail in the previous part of this series, but basically using a video repurposing tool, and so many of them out there promise this right now, they say they can take your one YouTube video and turn it into at least 20 short clips. But are those clips really effective in attracting you more high-paying clients? I really doubt it, because those clips, typically they don't perform really well on social media, and most of the time they're like summarizing one thing that you're saying in the YouTube video, which might not make sense without context if people don't listen to the full video. So using AI for repurposing videos well looks like this. Having an AI tool that is trained in your business context, in your content strategy, once again, same thing, and then having really specific instructions in there of what you want it to repurpose for the different platforms that you are on. This is the same system that I have created for most of my clients. So it has the content strategy, which I collaborate with them on, the vocal identity in there, and then we run a transcript or a blog or email that they have written through it, and it will spit out the different bits either in a list or table form for the different platforms. But then we know that there still needs to be someone to go in there to refine it so that it's ready before getting published. I firmly believe that AI does have really good use in marketing, but only if you use your brain first. So you do the thinking, you do the strategy, you have the experience, you have the knowledge. Don't doubt yourself. Use that to create your own content first, even if it's just a rough draft, even if it's rambly. Then use AI to help you structure that better or organize your thoughts so it's clear, or use it to give you dot points, which are thought starters, to record a video just like this. Use AI to amplify and reach more people with your thinking, not replace it. So that's all my final thoughts for today. I would love to know how you're using AI in your marketing and whether you'll change things now that you realize what are some good examples of AI use and what are some really awful bad examples now that you are aware of it. If this episode made you a little uncomfortable, that's the whole point of it. But if you found that there's some truth in what you've learned in this episode, make sure to give me a follow so that you don't miss the next part of this series where I go deeper into content strategy to attract more high-paying buyers. See you then!